What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? And welcome back to yet another Ringside Roundup here on the channel, man. For today's Ringside Roundup, our topic today is going to be the March 2nd, 2026 episode of WWE Raw. So as always, I go over everything you will need to know about this episode of Raw. I break down the show, everything you need to know, all the important stuff, even all the bad stuff. I let you guys know everything that you will need to know. As always, I give my thoughts on the show as well. And I break down everything like as mentioned. But as always, down in the comments below is where you guys can leave me your thoughts, whether that's leaving your thoughts on the show, debating my thoughts and how I felt in the show, or leaving your thoughts on anything you would have discussed about the world of professional wrestling. All that can be done down in the comments below. Without further ado, man, you guys know what to do. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn post notifications, you never miss an upload. Go follow the socials. You can find the links to those in the description of this video. That includes my Instagram account, my X account. Do all that has been a ton. Enough talk. Let's get you guys straight into today's Raw recap. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we would start things off pretty hot here tonight, man. So we start things off. No talking from the commentators. No talking from anybody in the backstage. As a matter of fact, we get straight to the chase, and we started off. The Vision is already out there. So Paul Heyman, Logan Paul, Austin Theory, they are already out there, and they get down to business. You know, they instantly pretty much bring up obviously what happened at Elimination Chamber. He says that obviously at Elimination Chamber, Seth Rollins screwed my partner, or screwed the Vision, screwed Logan Paul out of the main event of WrestleMania. He stole the Elimination Chamber. He pretty much ruined our shot of getting our guys to the main event. And then he pretty much just says that is not pretty much the only thing that Seth Rollins has stole. He tried to steal credit for co-founding the Vision, which he did not. He also tried to, and he even brings up the Shield. He says that Rollins tried to steal credit for co-founding the Shield, which he did not. But that is obviously not my problem anymore. But I think that was really wild, considering that, you know, Paul Heyman saying that towards Rollins, considering that they both, it was a team effort between him and Paul Heyman to obviously build this vision. But Paul Heyman says that Seth Rollins, you know, he thinks that Seth pretty much just screwed over the Vision, and he screwed over Paul Heyman for sure, and saying that he, you know, had full credit for, you know, founding the Vision, basically. So Paul Heyman pretty much is saying, you know, Seth, you know, you had no place in founding the Vision. It was pretty much all me. And then pretty much from there, Paul Heyman would pretty much just hand the mic over to Austin Theory. And then Austin Theory pretty much just, you know, says pretty much, I mean, he really Austin Theory, I would say, really didn't say anything of relevance. I mean, he really didn't get to say much. He would pretty much, I mean, he would say a little bit, and then he would pass the mic on to Logan Paul, who pretty much just says, you know, Seth Rollins, you're a scumbag, and once again, you know, you cheated me out of the Elimination Chamber, you cheated me out of my main event spot at WrestleMania. And then from there, we would then see Adam Pearce come out, and Adam Pearce obviously said, he's like, all right, we need to cut this out. We need to get this show rolling. You guys get out of my ring. Seth Rollins is my problem. I need to worry about Seth Rollins. In fact, Seth Rollins isn't even medically clear yet. So as far as what that means, I really don't know. Is Seth Rollins medically clear? Is he not? Because Adam Pearce said he wasn't. He literally said he wasn't. So I don't really know currently, but I'm sure we will find out, of course, later on throughout the night and just throughout the weeks as they go on, of course. But then from there, we would see a masked man show up, and we see one, and it's not the correct masked man. You know, it's just a random masked man. He's just there to troll. So he comes out, you know, whichever one it is. So the first one comes out, and you know, the Vision would stay in the ring, but you know, they start to get their awareness up, and then we would see another one. We would see another masked man who's just there to, you know, also, you know, just troll. And then the security would take him out because Adam Pearce brought security with him. And then there would be another masked man, and then this one, you know, that takes out, you know, that distracts Logan Paul and Austin Theory. Then I'm pretty sure we would see another one which would get taken out by security. There was just tons of masked men, and then finally Paul Heyman was left stranded in the ring, and he's looking at a masked man that is standing on the entrance ramp, which then from behind, it is none other than the actual masked man, Seth Rollins. He unmasked. It's Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins has a chair in hand, and he grabs that chair and he freaking whacks the shit out of Paul Heyman, man. And not only that, Seth Rollins backs it up in the corner, and a curb stomps out Paul Heyman, man. So that was pretty much it for our opener. But I think the opener started off really hot, started off with something that a lot of people are obviously talking about, with the return of Seth Rollins at the Elimination Chamber. So I think we started off this show really good, man. I think this was really good to see, starting it off hot with the hot topic of the Vision, like how everything's going to play out. So as far as right now, man, I still think Seth Rollins, obviously he's not going to let up on the Vision. Of course, he's going to continue attacking the Vision. As far as where things go from here, obviously, like I said, just going to continue to keep building Seth Rollins, who is inevitably probably most likely going to face one of the members of the Vision at WrestleMania. But I think, like I said, I think we started off pretty hot, man. Hot here tonight. Started off really well. So let me know what you guys think about this. Do you think this was a good opener? What do you think? I mean, what do you guys think, especially about all these masked men coming out? Like, are we going to continue to see that? Because I really hope we don't continue to see that. I think all the masked men is really stupid. I think, now as Seth is already unmasked, we don't need all these other masked men. So I hope we don't continue to do that. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think we'll continue to see these masked men? Do you like the masked men? Let me know all that down in the comments. But like I said, I for one do think we started off pretty hot here tonight, man. All right, moving on. We move on to a backstage segment where the Vision is in the backstage and we see an ambulance, and Paul Heyman is in the ambulance strapped up with a bloody nose, I believe is what it was. And the Vision, so obviously Austin Theory and Logan Paul, they're out there making sure everything's all right, telling the medics to stop the bleeding. And then finally the doors do close. The Vision does get out of the obviously the ambulance, and then we would see Jimmy Uso appear, and he would start attacking Logan Paul and Austin Theory, throwing them all around the backstage pretty much, which obviously Jimmy Uso pretty much just taking out the Vision. He would stand tall there, and then he goes over to the ambulance, and it's none other than LA Knight in the freaking ambulance, man. And he tells Jimmy, I'll take it from here. So he's in the ambulance that Paul Heyman's in, and then the ambulance drives off, man. So things are heating up, man. Things are really heating up. Things are really going to fall flat for the Vision here. I mean, the Oracle, Paul Heyman, the soul of the Vision, the heart of the Vision, just got kidnapped pretty much by, LA Knight. So I don't know how that's really going to play out. Are we not going to see Paul Heyman for a few weeks, or, what's really going to happen with that? I'm really kind of interested on what's going to happen with as far as that goes. But man, things are really starting to heat up for the Vision, man. I mean, obviously, they're heating up on Raw, but things are not going to plan for the Vision whatsoever. They got screwed by Rollins. The soul of Vision gets kidnapped in the ambulance. So, man, I don't think Paul Heyman's gonna get the help he needs, man. Cancel freaking Christmas on Paul Heyman making it to that hospital, man. When LA Knight's in that freaking ambulance driving, yeah, you're not going to the freaking hospital, Paul Heyman, man. So, I don't know. I think this was kind of funny that, Paul Heyman got kidnapped, but also, man, things are heating up, man. I can't wait, man. Things are heating up. It's really interesting, man. I cannot wait to see just more of this over the next few weeks up until, for the build to WrestleMania, man. So, man, I really enjoy this. I think things are really heating up, man. All right, moving on, we would jump into a really, really awesome match between Gunther and Dragon Lee, man. I really, really freaking enjoyed this match, man. Overall, as you can expect, Gunther, he's the career killer. He wants to put Dragon Lee away. He wants to end the career of Dragon Lee just like he did John Cena, AJ Styles, and even Goldberg, man. He wants to destroy Dragon Lee, and that's exactly what Gunther showcased throughout this match with literally multiple freaking dramatic freaking power bombs. I mean, really harsh slams, man. One of them being in the ring, another one being on the freaking hardest part on the ring on the outside, man. I mean, freaking gnarly. And then immediately after that, he would deliver a gnarly freaking power bomb to Dragon Lee right onto the hardest part of even the announcer's table, man. So really just Gunther overpowering Dragon Lee a good amount in this match, but also even though Gunther was able to overpower some of this match, Dragon Lee would be able to get a counter, would be able to get some really good offense in here as well. Dragon Lee, he would be picked up for a powerbomb position from Gunther, of course, but he would turn it around when Dragon Lee would kind of turn it into like a reverse powerbomb of his own. So this is where Dragon Lee's offense really starts to kick in, and then he would deliver Operation Dragon, which is a really, really awesome move, and he delivered that on the outside. Then he would get back in the ring, and I believe he would deliver then a suicide dive, and then finally get Gunther back in the ring, try to hit Operation Dragon again, but this time Gunther would turn it around and he would put Dragon Lee in the sleeper hold, and then he would even rip off Dragon Lee's mask, which you can actually see his face on TV just for a few, literally, I think less than a second. But then that's obviously going to force Dragon Lee to tap out because, obviously, he doesn't want to be revealed, and, it's going to cause him to kind of panic, so he's going to tap out. I kind of wondering, was that supposed to happen? Was Gunther supposed to rip the mask off? I'm going to assume yes. I would assume so. That's probably what was supposed to happen. I mean, you could definitely tell it wasn't on accident. I mean, Gunther quite literally did pull the mask, so I think it actually, was part of everything that was planned, of course. But I think this match was really awesome, man, because even though while Gunther was, I mean, he was delivering some harsh attacks to Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee was still able to get some good offense in there as well. Overall, just made for a really great match. And not to mention, I forgot to mention, the match wouldn't even start, with the ring bell instantly, because Gunther would be making his entrance and Dragon Lee, would come out. He's fired up, man. He wants to, beat the hell out of Gunther for, what he did to his boy AJ Styles. So I forgot to mention that as well. The match would also start off really hot with just Dragon Lee going right after Gunther and not even waiting for a bell, not even waiting for Gunther to get to the ring. So I think that was also really cool, which I forgot to mention. But overall, I think everything here just made for a really awesome match, man. Just really great stuff from both stars. Gunther with those gnarly freaking power bombs throughout this match, but Dragon Lee also with some really good offense in this match as well. All of it just combined for one really awesome match that I was not expecting to have between Gunther and Dragon Lee tonight. I'm gonna say that I wasn't really expecting this match to be that good, but man, this match was really good. I really, honestly, really freaking enjoyed this match, man. But let me know what you guys thought about this match. Did you like it? Did you not? Do you think Dragon Lee was actually supposed to be in mask? Because like I said, I think he most likely was, but let me know how you guys felt about that down in the comments. Without further ado, man, I think this overall was a really awesome match here, but let me know what you guys think down in the comments, man. All right, now moving forward, we would jump into a promo from the newest Women's Intercontinental Champion, AJ Lee, man. So she comes out, first thing she says that I don't even know how I ended up here. She says that she came back just to rip the hair off of Becky's big ass head, and then I think that was actually very funny. And then she would say, well, in that process, I even stole her title too. So that was some burning towards Becky, man. That definitely started a fire on Becky Lynch, I would say. Definitely some heat thrown towards Becky from AJ Lee. So I think that stuff was really funny. But then she pretty much just says that, she didn't think that, basically this was going to happen. She really didn't think that she was going to win the title, but she says that you guys, the fans, you guys are the ones that believed in me, even when most people told you to give up on me. She says that, without you guys, basically, I would not be in this position. I would not be back here fighting. I would not be Intercontinental Champion right now. She says that, even though, Becky, she's the best of the best, but I beat her and she put me through a major fight, and she says she even has the scars to prove it. But even though, she is the best of the best, I was still able to beat her. So, I mean, that pretty much makes AJ Lee, the best of the best as well, which, we kind of already knew that, of course. But then she says, well, now Becky is behind me. I need to look ahead. And she points at the WrestleMania sign, or looks at the WrestleMania sign. And she pretty much just says that a few weeks ago, she mentioned a few women that she wants to get her hands on since she's been back. And then she says that, ladies, it's time to step up, because next time I am in this ring, I will be defending this Women's Intercontinental Champion. So that right there kind of to me seemed like a US Open challenge, but in this case, a Women's Intercontinental Open challenge, which if that happens, and that's how we kind of go into WrestleMania with AJ Lee, I think that's not only good for AJ Lee, but also just good for the Women's Intercontinental title anyways. So that's kind of what it seems to me is like really happening here when AJ Lee said that. Now maybe that's not what happens. Maybe Becky Lynch pretty much just answers the call once again when AJ Lee obviously comes back out next, which I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case, because I think either way at WrestleMania it's most likely going to be Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee for that Intercontinental title once again. So whether or not it is an open challenge, I honestly kind of hope it will be, at least for a little bit throughout the road to WrestleMania, because like I said, that's not only good for AJ Lee to get more matches and be showcased more since she's been back, of course, but also just to help elevate more the Women's Intercontinental Champion, man. So I think if that's the route WWE takes for this title for, just maybe if it's just for a few weeks, I think it's still going to be play a big role in just the Women's Intercontinental title pictures, overall development. So I think that would be really cool to see. But really, that's kind of the main takeaway here is AJ Lee. She says pretty much she wants to be a fighting champion. She's most likely going to defend kind of every time. It's what it seems like most of the time that she's in the ring, which to me, like I said, sounds like an open challenge. So we'll have to wait and see. Let me know what you guys think. Do you want to see a Women's Intercontinental Open Challenge? Do you think, is that something you want to see? Who do you think could be, if that's what happens, who do you think will answer the call first from AJ Lee? Let me know all that down in the comments below. But if that's the case, if this is the case, then this is the route WWE takes. Like I said, I think this would be very awesome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, moving on, we would jump into El Grande Americano, the OG one, versus I believe it was Rayo Americano. Overall, I think this match was really solid. I really did enjoy this one. There's really hasn't been one match with, the Americanos facing off like OG Americano and then one of the other Americanos. There's really not one match between them that really hasn't like been that, bad at all. I think really this match, along with the other ones that they've had, has just been overall really good. I really do enjoy these matches because they're I really like the pace of them, considering that they're, you know, it's luchador style of action, meaning luchador style of pace, which is usually a faster pace, which I really do enjoy. And just overall, just match was really awesome, man. Star power was there, I would say. We would even see a cool little spot off the top turnbuckle when OG Americano would go up to the top with Ryo Americano and deliver like a kind of like a belly to belly over the head throwing suplex style of move from OG Americano, which I think was really good. But it would all come to an end for Ryo Americano when he would get suplexed by OG Americano, which would allow OG Americano to pick up the 1-2-3 victory. So OG Americano does win here. I kind of expected that, unless, you know, obviously he got screwed over, then that's kind of the only way I would see him losing here. But overall, I think this was a solid match. Let me know what you guys think about this one down in the comments. But overall, this match, in my opinion, was actually pretty good, man. All right, now moving on, we would see Rusev. He would come out and he would hop right on the announcer's table, and he gets straight to work on Obafemi. Pretty much just says that he is tired of Obafemi. He's been tired of him these past few weeks, and he wants Obafemi to come out there pretty much right freaking now. So that's exactly what happens. Obafemi makes his way down to the ring, hits his little strut, which, you know, everybody freaking loves. Even I love it my freaking self, man. Everybody, you know, it's going to be a good time when Obafemi's hitting that strut, man. So he makes his way into the ring, gets on the mic, pretty much just says, you know, well, pretty much I'm here, do something about it. And then that's exactly what Rusev does. He says, all right, basically, and he gets right in the ring, goes up, walks up the steps, gets in the ring, and then they have an altercation a little bit in the ring, and then they start going at it, blow for blow. Obafemi would take advantage of the trading blows, though, and then eventually, you know, Obafemi would frickin' raise up Rusev really high in the frickin' air and drop him right down back to the frickin' mat where Rusev belongs, man. Obafemi standing tall once again, and man, the freaking height that Obafemi put up Rusev was freaking insane, bro, because it's not every week that you see Rusev being launched up in the air like that. Let's be honest, man. It's not every week that you see something like that. And man, Obafemi fucking raised Rusev hella high in the freaking sky, man. That was kind of freaking gnarly. I mean, you guys can see it on the image that's on your screen, man. I mean, he raised him up pretty freaking high, man, and I think that was really awesome, man. Just continues to show the absolute dominance and just overall strength of Obafemi, man. I mean, dude, I can't wait, man. I really hope WWE has not missed the opportunity to pair him up with Lesnar, to have him go one-on-one with Lesnar at WrestleMania, man. Because, dude, I just really cannot wait to see that match, man. Obafemi has just been such a standout, and I just really hope WWE's not fumbled the opportunity to have him go up one-on-one against Brock Lesnar, man. But, man, in the meantime, this Obafemi versus Rusev feud should be pretty freaking good, man. But afterwards, I'm really hoping that WWE doesn't fumble Obafemi and they actually do go for, you know, him versus Lesnar at WrestleMania, because obviously, you know, Brock Lesnar does have that open challenge going on, of course. But I don't know, man. I think this segment was really cool, man. It finally gets the Obafemi versus Rusev feud underway. Most likely going to get a match probably next week, I would assume, but then again, we will have to wait and see. Let me know what you guys think about this. Do you want to see an Obafemi versus Rusev feud? Do you think it's going to be good? Let me know all that down in the comments below. I, for one, though, cannot wait to see it, man. I think this so far has been really freaking awesome, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now we would jump into Jimmy Uso going one-on-one with one of the members of the division, which would be none other than Austin Theory, man. And this match would be over relatively quickly, man. I mean, Jimmy Uso I feel like Jimmy would get the most offense throughout how the match, you know, did play out when it was actually, you know, before the bell had actually rung. But, you know, we would get to a point where they would make it where Jimmy Uso would be on fire. He would do a suicide dive to Austin Theory. Eventually, Austin Theory would end up on the announcer's table. And then I believe Jimmy Uso, he would get back in the ring, and then none other than Logan Paul would interrupt. Jimmy Uso at first would get the upper hand on him, but then finally Austin Theory would get back in the ring, and then eventually, you know, they would both beat up on Jimmy Uso, which would cause a disqualification since Logan Paul is outside interference. But then none other than main event freaking Jey Uso, Mr. Yeet, would come back, man, and he comes back and he helps out his brother Jimmy Uso, man. He comes out through the ring. He doesn't come out through the entranceway. He has two crutches. He slides one of them over to Jimmy, and then they get in the ring and they go to work on the Vision. They take out Logan, and I believe they would deliver the 1D to it was either they delivered it to Logan or they delivered it to Austin Theory, but you know, we get some classic Uso action with the 1D tonight, so that was really awesome. Then the Usos would stand tall, man. So ladies and gentlemen, I know a lot of people aren't going to like this because, you know, as you can tell, Jey Uso only play that thing out on SmackDown with him getting hurt because to write him off of the Elimination Chamber. And I know a lot of people are going to be pissed about that because it's main event freaking Jey Uso, man. A lot of people are going to be pissed about that, but if, you just got to really understand, Bronson Reed was supposed to win that qualifying match that Jey Uso was originally in. Unfortunately, he got injured, but you guys just got, I feel like we just got to understand it from that standpoint that Bronson Reed was originally supposed to be the winner, but then the second best option was going to be Jey Uso, of course. So you just got to think of it that way. You know, I know a lot of people are going to be pissed about this because I don't really think we're going to get an answer as to who attacked Jey Uso, of course. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. But as of right now, I really don't think we will, man. I think, like I said, they only wrote him off just like they did just to get him out of the Elimination Chamber so we can get a member of the Vision like Logan Paul in there. Because without a member of the Vision in there, there is really no Seth Rollins return, in my opinion, as far as the Masked Man, you know, storyline and all that goes, I would argue. So I know a lot of people are going to be pissed about that. I kind of am a little bit, not too much as, you know, I feel like most people really are going to be. But I don't know, man. Let me know what you guys think about this. I think it's cool that Jey Uso's back and they're not going to keep him off TV for that long. I think that's really awesome. So at least he's back. I think that's an upside in my opinion, but let me know what you guys think about this. Let me know your thoughts on this topic, on this down in the comments below. But I personally, for what we got from this match before the bell rang, I think it was, you know, set up to be a pretty solid match. But then the return of Jey Uso, I think, is cool, man. Like I said, cool that they're not going to keep him off TV for super long. So I think that's really the main upside here. But let me know what you guys think. But without further ado, man, let's move on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, moving on, we would jump into Jackie Redmond, who does call out and brings out the 2026 Women's Elimination Chamber winner, that being obviously Rhea Ripley. So Rhea Ripley makes her way out there, and as well with her, well, tag team partner, or maybe ex-tag team partner now. I really don't know just yet, but obviously Io Sky. So they come out and pretty much Rhea wants to pretty much thank Io Sky for everything that she's done for her the past few months, you know, putting her, or, you know, helping her through, you know, she says dark times, just being her tag team partner, helping elevate her, winning gold with her. She just wants to appreciate Io for all of that, and she says that, you know, I know that basically you'll be able to lock down Raw here while I'm over there on SmackDown dealing with Jade Cargill. Then she looks at the camera and says that, you know, basically she will be there on Friday to go face to face and stand off with Jade Cargill, who she will face at WrestleMania. So in terms of what to think here, man, I gotta be honest, I really could care less. At the end of the day, I don't care seeing Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill. Maybe the build can change that, which, I mean, I guess it can, but at the same time, you guys most of you guys know how I feel. Rhea Ripley did not need to win that chamber to get this match. She really did not whatsoever. Rhea Ripley does not need to win a match like the Elimination Chamber to get a title shot like this. She really doesn't need one, and she does not need a title shot like that, and having her win that just takes spots from many other women that do, you know, need to win that style of match to get a title shot. So you guys already know how I feel, man. I really could care less about Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill. I mean, yes, it sounds like a cool match, sure, but it's like at the same time, I don't think the build of this is going to be very good, man. I mean, if we're being completely honest, Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill, they're not too good as far as, you know, mic-wise, I would say. I mean, Rhea Ripley's not bad. Jade Cargill isn't that, you know, bad either, but compared to, like, a WrestleMania match and building for a WrestleMania match, I would say, I don't know, man. I don't have high hopes going into this build. So, I mean, like I said, maybe I can change my opinions. Maybe the build might change my thoughts and how I feel about this, but as of right now, this is something that I can kind of just care less about right now. Holy hell, ladies and gentlemen, we had a shocking title change coming up here, man. So we jumped in, Dominic Mysterio defending his Intercontinental title against none other than Cero Miedo Penta. So, man, this match freaking awesome, man. Really enjoyed this freaking match. This was so freaking amazing. It also just continues to just reveal so many cracks and just so many shifts that are just so close from happening inside the Judgment Day, man. This match, very freaking crucial, man. Really enjoyed this, man. Really good stuff from both Dominic and Penta, man, but I really want to cut straight to the chase because this is where the importance happens. So, we get to a point where where Penta, he says, his shoulder, the ref's checking on him. Meanwhile, Dominic Mysterio, he's leaning up against the ropes, and JD McDonough and Finn Balor, they're on the outside sitting next to the commentator table, and he tells Finn and JD, give me the hammer, get me the hammer, obviously from the ring bell. JD goes over there, gets the hammer, he comes back, he makes to about the announcer's table, and guess who interrupts him? It's none other than Finn Balor, man. He says that no, do not do this. Dominic said that he will do this on his own. He does not need this. He said he can do this on his own. Do not give this to him. And then inevitably, we see that Penta, he takes out both Finn Balor and JD McDonough, man. And then we see where Penta's going for his Mexican Destroyer. He doesn't land it the first time, and then we think that Dominic's about to win here. He gets Penta in that 619 position, but he doesn't hit the 619. Penta does get out of it, and then he finally hits the Mexican Destroyer, man. And then here it comes: 1, 2, 3. Cerro Miedo Penta is your new Intercontinental Champion, man. So awesome, man. Really, really good for Penta, man. Penta being the new Intercontinental Champion, and he's probably going to go into WrestleMania as champion as well, man. That is really awesome for Penta, man. I'm super happy for Penta. Penta absolutely deserves it, man. I'm finally glad that he's actually getting a push here. Really, really enjoying that, man. That is really awesome and amazing for Penta. But man, the fact that Finn Balor, Finn Balor finally realizes what it means to, do it yourself. What it finally means, once again, to stand up for yourself, to fight for yourself, to earn for yourself. And now he's trying to help Dominic find that for himself as well. He wants Dominic to do it on his own, but obviously Dominic Mysterio, he's going to be pissed at Finn Balor, man. And then Finn Balor eventually, he's going to he's probably going to snap, and he's going to be pissed at Dom, because he's like, you need to do that. He's going to continue to press Dominic Mysterio and say, you need to do this on your own. But Dominic Mysterio just eventually not going to get the point. Finally, I think Finn Balor is just going to snap, and Finn Balor is going to go on that good old babyface run that we all want Finn Balor to frickin' have, man. So what I think this sets up is, I'm finally jumping on board with the people that are saying it's going to be Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio at WrestleMania, but I also think the Intercontinental title is going to be involved in that match, with most likely Penta still holding the title. So I think we're in for a triple threat possibly at WrestleMania, man. Finn Balor versus Penta versus Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental title, and I think, like I said, by the time we get to that match, Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio would have already been on different terms. Now they're already they're already against each other, already split from the Judgment Day, of course. Well, Finn Balor most likely would be. So I think that's what's going to happen here, man. I think the Judgment Day shift, dude, Finn Balor's this close from leaving the Judgment Day, man, and I just cannot wait for WWE to finally pull the trigger, man. But overall, great stuff here. Really love this match. Really awesome to see Penta get a push and get that Intercontinental gold, man. And really awesome just to see more, like, finally that we're this close to that Finn Balor splitting up from the Judgment Day and turning heel, turning babyface and snapping on Dominic Mysterio. Finally, Balor coming to his senses and finally understanding that he does not need the Judgment Day, man. So we are this close, man. Great stuff in this match. Love it for Penta getting his hands on Intercontinental gold, man. Let me know what you guys think. Do you like Penta as champion? What do you want to see from Penta as champion? And like I said, and also, do you think that WrestleMania match will happen that I said? Do you think we will see Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio versus Penta for the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania? Let me know all that down in the comments below. But without further ado, man, let's jump on to the next part of the show. What the frick just happened, man? What did we just witness, ladies and gentlemen, man? Holy hell, what a promo to end off the frickin' night tonight here on Raw, man. So we start things off with Roman Reigns. He says, "Indianapolis, acknowledge me." That's all he gets to say until the best in the world heavyweight champion, Roman Reigns' opponent at WrestleMania, CM Punk, comes out and pretty much just tells Roman straight up, pretty much, Roman, is that seriously all you came out here to say? That could have been a tweet, pretty much. You're coming out here and that's all you're saying. That could have been something that you just done on social media, and why even bother showing up here? So then from there, CM Punk pretty much just says that, Roman, you say you hate me, you say all this about me, you say you dislike me, all this, but the thing is I'm glad you hate me, because now I know I'm in your head and I can see right through you. It's translucent. There is nothing in that brain. There is nothing going on inside of your head, and I'm glad that I'm in your head, because now I can read your mind. Basically, I can pretty much get in your head. I can screw with you. I can manipulate you, basically. And then Then we would see Roman Reigns. He would get his talk in, and pretty much what he pretty much tells what he tells Phil, because that's pretty much what he calls him throughout this entire promo. Obviously, CM Punk's real name, so things getting personal. So he addresses CM Punk as he addresses him as Phil. Pretty much just says that you come here as you come here and act like pretty much people want to see you. You act like people want you here week after week. But the truth is, Phil, they tell me week after week how much they hate you. They despise you. Nobody likes you. All they think of you, and all I think of you, is that you're just a punk ass bitch, man. So wow, already, man, things starting off hot, man. I mean, dude, Roman Reigns freaking throwing some absolute freaking heat towards CM Punk, and just if you think it can't get any freaking crazier, man, CM Punk takes it to another freaking level, man. He's pretty much just tells, Roman Reigns continues on a little bit more, but then CM Punk and then he tries to walk away, and then CM Punk pretty much just says, you think you can just walk away, because he grabs him, and then he says, you think you can just walk away? No, you cannot walk away, because I will not let you disrespect me, Roman. He says that, you say we, but is there like Samoans that I don't see? Is there other Samoans that you got in your back pocket that I don't know about that you're going to use against me? Because pretty much he tells Roman that you cannot stand by yourself. You cannot stand alone. You cannot win on your own. You cannot operate on your own. You need your family, Roman. And I see that. I see right through you, Roman. I see it. I'm in your head. I see that you cannot go to wrestle. You cannot walk into WrestleMania and walk out champion if you don't have your cousins like the Usos and all them by your side. And then this is where things stoop to another freaking level, man. He tells Roman that, at Roman, pretty much at WrestleMania, I'm going to bury you. I'm going to end you. You say you're going to end my career, because I forgot to mention Roman Reigns would even tell Punk that I'm going to end your career. We're even going to put you on one of those John Cena retirement tours, man, which that right there I forgot to mention, but that was also really freaking crazy, man. So that's why obviously, CM Punk, he's feeling extremely disrespected, and he tells Roman, I'm going to bury you, and you say that you're going to end my career? No, I'm going to bury you, and I'm going to bury you right next to your father, man. Holy hell. I mean, dude, what a freaking promo, man. Dude, this promo stooped to another level. This is by far the best promo that we've seen in a long time, I would say, just overall, and the best promo that we've seen out of these two throughout the build-up for their match at WrestleMania in general, man, because we've already had one, but now it's this one. This one stooped to a whole nother level, just not only between just CM Punk, but also with Roman Reigns as well, man. Holy hell, what a way to end off the night. What a crazy promo, man. I mean, dude, my days, just an insane promo, man. I cannot wait for this match at WrestleMania. This build just continues to stoop to lower levels, to more personal levels, to more heated levels, which makes things so much more intriguing, so much more just so much more interesting, so much more, just entertaining, I would say, just to watch, man, which I freaking absolutely love, man. So I cannot wait for this match at WrestleMania. I know it's going to be freaking awesome. The build has already been so awesome for it, and I just can't wait for it. I mean, as the build goes on, it just continues to get so much better. I can't wait to see what these two guys have in store for this in the next coming weeks, man. But man, what an awesome promo here tonight. What a way to end off the night. What some crazy shit talking between these two stars. Let me know how you guys felt about this ending, man. If you think this was bad, I don't know, man. You got a problem, because this was an insane freaking segment and promo here between these two guys here tonight. So let me know what you guys think about this ending here tonight. I personally think it was amazing, absolutely insane, stooped to a whole nother level. So let me know what you guys think. Like I said, I think this was really good, but man, just such a great freaking ending here tonight. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap up today's Ringside Roundup for this week's episode of Raw, man. As always, I hope you guys did enjoy it. And just ranking this episode of Raw, man, I think this was a really, really awesome episode of Raw, especially coming off of, obviously, Elimination Chamber 2026. This was a really awesome episode of Raw, man, with everything going on with the Vision, to that stuff with Oba, Femi, and Rusev, to even, LA Knight kidnapping freaking Paul Heyman, to even Penta winning the Intercontinental Gold, to showing us more cracks in the Judgment Day, to that crazy promo to end off the night between Roman and Punk, man. This was such a amazing episode of Raw. So, like I said, be sure to leave me your thoughts on how you guys did feel about this episode of Raw. But I personally, like I said, think this episode of Raw was really good. As always, though, like I said, go down in the comments below, leave me your thoughts on the show, whether that's leaving your thoughts on the show, debating my thoughts on how I felt on the show, or leaving your thoughts about anything you want to discuss about the world of professional wrestling. All that can be done down in the comments below, man. Without further ado, though, you guys know what to do. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn post notifications, soon miss an upload, go follow the socials. Links to those can be found in the description of this video. That includes my Instagram account, my X account. Do all that, husband a ton. Catch y'all boys in the next one. Peace.